Welcome to this episode of Hampton Roads Business Live. My name is Rory Graham, and I'm your host. And today we have the pleasure of having with us Eddie Sau from right here in the area, a local entertainer.
Yes.
So what kind of an entertainer are you?
A variety entertainer in the style of old school cabaret entertainer. I grew up in the 60s. I am a Beatles fan and a fan of cabaret performers, though, yes.
Okay, all right, and so you do all types of music.
Yeah,
you
variety.
mentioned the Beatles, but
variety,
you do
yes.
like Frank Sinatra.
Yes, Sinatra. Any kind of the crooners, for Elvis Presley, Tony Bennett, Nat King Cole, Ray Charles. Because I love R&B. I grew up in New Orleans, so I know
New
a lot
Orleans?
about, New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well that's good. And you now you perform at all types of events, like
variety
weddings?
functions. Yeah, weddings. Yeah, I do a lot of weddings. Yeah.
Okay, and corporate events like
Corporate
Christmas
events,
parties coming up.
Oh, a lot of those. Can't wait.
Okay, all right. And you also provide you do some services for some of the area nursing homes. And
Yes, yeah, entertaining seniors and 55 and older groups. And I do things for the rec centers, local rec centers, where they have a lot of seniors that go there. Wherever there's entertainment, hopefully people will call me.
All right. So you when you come in, you bring the music,
Yes, I use
the whole
soundtracks.
thing.
Yeah, I use technology to my advantage. I used to have bands, and now and then someone will give me a big budget, and I'll hire musicians to back me up. And it's usually doing standard jazz songs from the Sinatra era, with Tony Bennett songs and Nat King Cole, all of those great crooners from that era.
Okay. All right. And do you have any particular favorite songs or songs that are most requested?
Oh, I would have to say that I'd say Louis Armstrong's "What a Wonderful World,"
Oh yeah.
and "My Way," and Elvis Presley's "Can't Help Falling in Love." You know, some of those songs are still very popular.
Right.
It's for an older audience.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the kids today love what's playing on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't suppose you do any rap.
No, I don't rap. Only at Christmas time. That's
Okay. All right.
when I rap.
Okay.
But actually, I do a few contemporary songs that have a little rap in them. You know.
And do you you're also a comedian?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so
I try to be funny.
So is that kind of mixed in with the music, or
Sometimes,
is it one or the other?
yes.
Or?
It just depends on the function involved. Someone will hire me because I used to have I had a one-man act for quite a few years, and I did some funny impersonations. I did Elvis Presley. I did some original characters that I made up called Uncle Aguda, Chinese Checker. I did a crazy routine on Little Richard. And just comedy in general, as far as just being witty, you know, being witty.
Right. Okay. And now you had a lounge show for quite a while, didn't you?
Yeah, about 8 or 9 years.
8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's when we used to have lounges around.
Yeah, when we had lounges, there were no TVs anywhere. Yeah. People actually sat and watched the performer.
Right.
I miss those days.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, because people now, they're too preoccupied. They're either on their phone or they're watching a football game.
Yeah, or both.
Or
watching the football game on the phone, right?
And you get lost in the shuffle.
So when did you start your career?
Oh, I was a teenager, growing up in New Orleans. I actually had an aunt who was in the business of show business, and she influenced me to get into become a performer.
A lot of clubs there.
Oh yeah, because I grew up in the French Quarter,
Yeah.
and I used to go to Bourbon Street all the time and see all the different menagerie of entertainers. Because you go to a club there, you'd have a comedian, you have a stripper, you have a band, you know, and a singer.
Yeah, I've been to the French Quarter. It's quite an experience.
Yeah, and this was back in the 60s, so.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sure it was even wilder back then.
It was.
Yeah.
Listening to Dixieland music and P. Fountain and Al Hurt, and I'd stand on the corner, and hear these great musicians.
Okay, and so the type of performances that you do, someone hires you just to entertain their group,
right?
And then you do a variety of different things,
right? I usually will ask the client what the age group is, how many people are attending, and what do her guests like, or what do their guests like.
I was going to ask you, do you have a song list that you they
yes,
give you?
Sometimes they do, or they'll just ask me. You know,
you'd have to bring it, would you not?
Yes, usually I'll get with the client beforehand, and we'll sit down and talk over the entertainment, what music she wants played, they want played, like especially for weddings. It's real important. Oh yeah. For weddings, the music.
Yeah. So like you wouldn't want to sing "Suspicious Minds" or something.
Well, it depends because sometimes you have there's Elvis fans everywhere. You know. I mean, some of the men in our society, they wouldn't know how to comb their hair if it wouldn't have been for Elvis.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. What are some of the memorable events that you've done? Or
let me see.
I mean, over as an entertainer, years, you must have had a lot of things you could write a book, right?
Yeah. In fact, I did a show here locally for a client over in Allenton, in Virginia Beach, and he was a George Jones fan. And he actually became friends with George Jones. He had a big party at his home one day, and his son hired George Jones to come to his home and perform in his backyard. And I wasn't at that event, but him and George Jones became close friends. So a friend of mine called me up one morning and said, "Eddie, so-and-so wants you to do a party this evening." He called me like 9 o'clock in the morning. "I want you to do this party this evening for a special friend of his." I said, "Well, who's his friend?" He says, "It's George Jones." I said, "You got to be kidding me. They want me to perform for George Jones?" I said, "How many people are going to be there?" He says, "Maybe 20. 20 for just 20 people?" So I go over to this guy's house, and sure enough, it was George Jones. And entertained George Jones and his wife and the family of this client.
Did you do George Jones' song?
I did. I did one of his songs.
Did you?
I did one of his songs. I saw those blue lights flashing, you know, over my right shoulder. It's when he was in the lawn. He's sitting on a lawnmower and he's driving to town, and he gets pulled over by a sheriff. That was one of his songs, George Jones' songs that he sang about. Yeah, that I sang about. He was a little bitty guy too. He's short. Yeah. I had to, "Hey George, how you doing?"
So what sets you apart? I mean, I can tell a few things right now, but what sets you apart from other entertainers?
I'm very personable, and I will, whatever the client wants, I cater to their guest, because that's what it's all about. It's entertaining to me. It's about giving what, you know, entertaining, yes, doing songs and stuff that you like, but it comes down, the bottom line comes down to entertaining people, you know, giving, expressing yourself with song and entertainment so that the people want to have fun. So they want to,
so they relax.
Yes, exactly, because when people feel that, especially if the music is not right, I mean, the choice of music is everything. You know, the repertoire of what you play for people at certain times.
Well, speaking of that, what kind of music is your favorite kind?
I like variety. I always have, and that's why technology has made it available for me to do a big variety of music. Because I had bands, and I still use groups, but usually most bands or most musicians, unless you have the music written down in front of them, and for functions that you play locally, most of them can't read music. Or they can't play a big variety of music. You know, they're like, if you put a band together with a bunch of guys, you're only going to be able to play the songs that
rehearsed.
That you rehearsed. Whereas I can, and I love playing with a band and rehearsing, but I've found out that using technology gives me the opportunity to do a song off the cuff. Someone says, "Eddie, can you do this song?" And I might have heard the song a few times on the radio and say, "Well, let me see if I have it." And I'll have it, and I'll be able to do it. And at that moment in time, for that person, he could be with his wife, it could be his anniversary, he could be with his girlfriend.
It could be their song.
It could be their song. It can make that night for them. And that's what I'm all about.
I see.
You know, is making the
you certainly
moments.
seem passionate about it.
Oh, I am. I am. I am. After
you
all
also
these
sound
years,
like you enjoy it a lot.
I do. I do.
Yeah. So it sounds like at least you're going to have some fun.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
So what advice do you have for clients who are hiring entertainment?
Know your clientele. You know your audience. Know your guest. Find out what they want to have. Because there's nothing worse than going to a function and a DJ or a band playing the wrong music and no one's dancing, no one's having a good time. and you should really know, you know, your guests and what type of show you want to present to your guests. If you're having a party, or if it's a corporate party or whatever, you know, ask the employees what are they, you know, what's going on, you know, what do they listen to, what music.
So who are some of the clients that you performed for over the years? I mean, can you give us some examples?
Yeah, locally, nightclub-wise, when I first came here to Virginia Beach, I worked at Sir Richard's for Frank Bauman. He's passed now. And I did a lot of work on the beach with some of the clubs. There was a club there called Caesars that I worked for. The Best Western Hotels down at Sheraton. A lot of those clients at the beach I worked for. And I've done a lot of work for Centera hospitals over the years, parties for them. And I still do some of their senior programs where they have, it's called PACE, P-A-C-E, PACE programs for where seniors go spend the day, and they'll hire someone like me, an entertainer, to come and entertain them for an hour. But numerous grand affairs. I've done work for grand affairs, for weddings for Gordon Christie and his family. Right. Numerous clients. William E. Wood. In fact, I just did a function for William E. Wood Real Estate Agents here. They do a marathon every year.
So you're just all over the place.
Yeah, I try to be. I try to be.
Do you offer DJ services?
Yes, I do.
Because we didn't mention that.
Yeah, so. I do. I offer DJ services and also karaoke, so people can get involved and sing along. And I've noticed lately that I'm getting more and more of those type of jobs because people want the variety, you know. And I don't sing a lot of the brand new songs out there. I don't rap. I don't do a lot of I guess the brand new songs. Just because I can't. They have 3 or 4 singers, so I stick to what I know best. I do a lot of country songs lately. I'm starting to do a lot more country music, but the old reliables still stand. Okay. You know, a good Beatles song will always get them.
Yeah. That does inspire a lot of age groups.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Well, is there anything we haven't touched on that you wanted to mention?
I'm very passionate about what I do. I love to perform, love to make people smile, and show them that being silly and having fun you're never too old to do that, and to dance and, you know, live your life to the fullest. I've done a lot of variety of things over the years. I had the pleasure of doing the Apollo. When it came here, they had the Apollo on the road, and I entertained. I was one of the, out of 500 people that auditioned, made the audition. And I was the oldest guy on the on the bill too, and I came in second. It was at the Addicts Theater in Norfolk, and that was a great experience. And in my earlier career, I got to sing with the orchestra, the New Orleans Symphony Orchestra, when I was real young, and opened up the show for Julie Budd. Julie Budd was a child prodigy at the time, and but I've done so many different things. I've done voiceover work. I'm still trying to get into the voiceover thing, and I've done a few, but I need a lot more experience doing it. But I just love show business, and I love to entertain people.
Well, that certainly shows. So if you are looking for some entertainment for your Christmas party coming up, or a family event, a wedding, and would like a DJ or a singer or a comedian or all 3, karaoke, whatever, it sounds like you got the whole package there.
I try. I try.
Someone who's into making sure your guests have a good time, then consider giving Eddie Sal a call. His contact information is at the end of this video and at the bottom of this page. And I thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you, Corey. It's been a pleasure.
As a guest.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right.